One common misconception that many consumers believe is that most eggs sold in the United States that are shelled eggs are pasteurized, and that is actually untrue. Less than 3% of the eggs that are sold in the United States, shelled eggs specifically, have gone through a pasteurization process. Now, laws and regulations do state that eggs have to be washed if you are selling them, at least in the state of New York, but they do not have to be pasteurized. Which leads me into the actual agricultural fact of the day. Today is Wednesday, February 5th, and today's agricultural fact of the day, I actually haven't recorded an egg fact in probably over a week, so if you haven't seen me pop up, that's why. Today's agricultural fact. A Pennsylvania farm is reporting a theft of approximately 100,000 eggs that were stolen from a distribution trailer on February 1st. The theft occurred from Pete and Jerry's Organics in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. The estimated retail value of those eggs is around $40,000. The USDA predicts that egg prices will increase by an estimated 20% in 2025. Now, if you follow me on other social media platforms, particularly the Book of Faces, I did make a post last week about egg prices and the avian influenza situation with very reliable source-based information in that post. So if you want to go find it, just type in my last name in that platform and you should be able to find it no problem. I don't disagree with this projection. Eggs are going to continue to increase in price, and I know that there are some people that just are not believing the hype around avian influenza. There are other people that are afraid to now purchase eggs in the store because they think that those eggs may be carrying it. However, even if it is possible that those eggs could carry it if the hen had it, if you're cooking them to the appropriate temperature, that would kill them, so there really should be no concern about that. And another fun fact, less than 3% of shelled eggs sold in the United States are actually pasteurized, so there is a lot of misinformation going around right now. And although processed eggs or eggs that are taken out of the shell and like sold in those cartons, those can be pasteurized, but most shelled eggs are not. So if you're hearing somebody saying that, that's actually not true, and eggs are not regularly pasteurized. In that post that I made on that social media platform, I did have photos of store shelves over the course of a period of time, ranging from, I think it was May 2021 to current, when egg prices are doing crazy things. And I will say, specifically, January 15th, I went into a local grocery store on my way home and took a photo of the store shelves because there was a sign there that said, "Attention customers, we apologize for the increase in prices, avian influenza, yada, yada," you know, the disclaimer. So I took a picture of the store shelves on that day specifically. I went in last week, I think it was Monday or Tuesday night after my hair appointment. I went in, took another picture of the store shelves. Those eggs had increased in 13 days time, which it was probably less than that. I don't know when that store changes their prices from week to week on what day, but they had increased over $1 a dozen. Now, this also depends on the color of the egg, how that hen was managed or raised, whether it was cage-free, et cetera, store brand versus fancy organic brand, but they still increased significantly across the board. So if you're curious to see some of that stuff, go find me on that other platform. Now, another thing, and I have been keeping close tabs on what the avian influenza cases are doing in our state. Obviously, I have poultry both at school and at home, and it is definitely something that is at the forefront of me. I did go crazy chicken lady yesterday and reset my incubators with any clean eggs that I had. If you check hatcheries, there is very limited availability for certain hatcheries. So just make sure that if you typically order chicks for the production year, make sure that you order them ASAP if you have not already. I know that Meyer Hatchery is sold out of any sizable amount of meat chicks until late July or maybe even August at this point, which for us in New York, that is the end of our growing season for the year. Typically, you can't really start them after August because our temperatures drop so severely that it's really challenging unless you have an enclosed temperature-controlled environment to raise meat chickens into the winter. On another note, what have I been doing? Well, life has been absolutely nuts. I have many kids competing in district FFA speaking contests on Saturday. I have 2 conduct of chapter meeting teams, 1 parliamentary procedure team, and some random individual contestants sprinkled in there as well. So we have, I don't think I've left school before 5 o'clock since Since before Christmas, it has been insanity because most days of the week, one team will select a day and then we have faculty meetings in there, and it's just been absolutely insane. Now, the last couple of days, I have been out of town because we took a joint school college trip specifically focused on agriculture. So we went and toured some of the agricultural colleges in the state of New York, like centrally and western regions of New York. We did not hit up Cobleskill. That will be when our kids go to the meats and mechanics and milk contests in late March. We will have a tour of Cobleskill at that point. But yeah, it has been a wild couple of days. We left Sunday morning at like 10 or 10:30 from the neighboring school, went to Alfred State, had a pretty decent tour of the ag facilities at Alfred State. And the campus tour was all right. The kids at least got to see the campus. Then we headed towards Ithaca. We stayed overnight there, toured Cornell University, specifically the ag programs at Cornell University. Went to SUNY ESF, toured that campus and the programs there and to see what they had to offer. And we stayed overnight in the Hamilton-Morrisville area. And we toured Morrisville yesterday. So we got back into Western New York sometime in the late afternoon. So I am thoroughly exhausted. My poor husband has been holding the fort down at home, so I'm sure he's happy to have me back. However, with the contests on Saturday, I actually have a New York Beef Producers Association meeting that I have to attend, so I don't even know if I'll make it to the contests on Saturday. Thankfully, I have a second adult that is willing to go and chaperone them, but technically I'm the only advisor currently. He is helping prepare some of the individual speaking contests, but with those teams, and if you've ever coached conduct of chapter meeting or parliamentary procedure, you have an idea of how involved those contests are. So it's not like one of those things that you can just kind of throw together. Those kids have to have a very concrete understanding of what it is you're expecting them to do, aka parliamentary procedure. So anyway, that's it. Hopefully I will be able to leave school before 5 p.m. today. I think today was the only day that I did not have practice until 5. So anyway, I hope you learned something today.